Alright, so welcome back to Haas to Glory. I know, it's been a long time. It's actually been nearly 2 weeks since the last episode of this. I have no idea where the time's gone, but we're going to Melbourne today. Back-to-back really good tracks. Last time out at Jeddah, it was nothing short of just pure and utter disappointment. I managed to qualify P17, which, given where our car is, that is not a bad result by any means. And then into the race, I actually had a decent race start for the first time on this year's game, and I managed to climb up to P15 by turn 2. However, it all went a bit pear-shaped when I completely misjudged my braking into turn 3, crashed into one of the Williams, and suffered heavy front wing damage. And then when I stopped to repair the front wing, I don't know why, but even though I had automatic wing repair on, the pit crew didn't repair my front wing. I didn't actually notice until a lap later, meaning I had to stop again, losing another 22 seconds of race time. And even then, I still nearly caught up to my teammate Nico Hülkenberg. I only finished about 4 seconds behind him. So even though I was on my own at the back for all of the race, the car was extremely fast, I was really fast, and it was overall there was still some positives to take. Do you know what I mean? Today though, like I said, I'm hoping the car is still good, and I'm still driving good, and then I can actually get the good result without crashing into anybody, do you know what I mean? That would be ideal. Okie dokie, skipjack flip flap, welcome to qualifying. Now let's take a look at the first lap times from the rest of the field. Max Verstappen fastest, what a surprise. 1 minute 14.4, of course, I say it every episode, we don't care about the front runners, we care about where Nico Hülkenberg currently resides, and he is going to be, as expected, last. He is currently a 10th and a half away from Zhou Guanyu in P18, and he's the only driver to not be in the 15s. He is in the 16s. So the target for me, personally, is to get into the 1 minute 15s, but if I can't do that, the target to beat is a 1 minute 16.181. So let's get out there and get down to business. Right, and here we go then. This is my first lap of Melbourne in a while, so I have no clue how this is going to go. I'm going to go down to about 80% ERS to open us up. Now, turn 1 is always fun. It's a lovely corner. You send it in, you get on the exit. That felt really nice, actually. I've got the initial feelings are quite good. I like it. So sector 1 is going to be a 26 dead by Alex Albon. I've gone completely wide through there, so I don't think this sector 1 is going to be too brilliant, but honestly, as long as the car feels good, this doesn't matter too much. Of course, I'll do a second lap anyway, and I'm gonna, oh wow, oh, I've gone on the grass, oops, my bad, I've completely messed that up. I don't know why I was looking at the leaderboard when I'm, cornering, but I was 2.5 tenths back from Albon on this first sector, which is obviously pretty crap, to be honest. Now we have the fast left-right chicane, went a bit too wide. Again, this is my first lap. My second lap will, of course, be much better. Sector 2 is going to come through. Never mind, it's already come through. I forgot. It's in a very wacky place. I feel like Sector 2 should end at that previous corner. And then we're going to do a slight lift through here. Went on the curb a little bit. But yeah, like I said, this is just a warm-up lap, Not to be taken seriously by any means. Of course, it's nice to have a good initial run, but it doesn't matter too much. We're going to come to the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 16.149, which puts me behind Hülkenberg by about 33 milliseconds. However, what's good for me is I know there is at least 2 or 3 tenths in this lap still. If I have a really good lap, upwards of half a second. So I reckon I can pretty easily get like a 15.8, 15.7, maybe even like a 15.5. Alright, here we go then for the final run of quali. I've got a nice clear track ahead of me. Now, Hülkenberg has finished, and he still fails to get in the 1 minute 15s. He done a 16 dead. So all I need to do is get in the 1 minute 15s, and I have beat Hülkenberg. Let's do it. I've already completely messed up this though, because I had my ERS mode on the different settings, so that's tough. But we move. I need to make sure that I nail the braking into turn 3, whatever corner this is. And I have done. On the exit as well. Ooh, that was quite, ooh, that was very nice. I'm a big fan of that. Now, I'm not going to look at the leaderboard. I'm simply just going to actually take the corner correctly. Still a little bit wide, but not too bad. But of course, I didn't go on the grass, which means I found, as you can see, 0.3 of a second. Now into the fast left-right chicane. I'm going to take it a little bit easier, but also more accurate. And I didn't actually gain any time from that, but I didn't lose any time, so that's perfectly okay. Now into the final sector, as I like to call it. Not bad through there on the exit. Now I need to make sure I'm a little bit wider through here. There you go, that was lovely. On the braking into the penultimate corner. A little bit too early, but it's okay. Get on throttle as early as conceivably possible. And I have ERS to spare. And there you go. I said there was at least 0.3. I found double that. 0.6 of a second. P16. That's quality. That's really good. I am a massive fan of that lap. That was, you know, that was above average. It was decent. I definitely think there's a bit more in there, but honestly, that's great. Considering, you know, I always say our car is still the slowest by a mile, that's really good. I mean, there was a 0.2 gap to the next car. I wasn't finding 0.2, and there was only like 30 milliseconds back to Logan Sargent. So as the way I see it, that is the absolute maximum I could have got there. That's brilliant. And of course, out-qualified Nico Hulkenberg by half a second on 110 AI. Oh, that's lovely. Starting P16 and P20 for the race. See what happens. We have 20 laps ahead of us of the Australian Grand Prix. I love this track so much. I don't know what it is specifically about it, but there's something different. You know, I just love it around here. Of course, you know, not every track I can play on 110 AI. In fact, in the whole game, there's only 3 that I do it on, which is Monaco, Jeddah, and here. It's just my thing, I guess. Now, do we have any engine penalties? No, which would have been surprising to me, considering that it's the 3rd race of the season, although you do see it happen. You do see it a lot by the AI. They take engine penalties in, like, the 2nd or 3rd rounds of the season. I don't know if that's meant to be a simulation of, like, you know, it's sometimes, you know, before a race. I think of Leclerc at Monaco 2021. That's the first example I can think of, where he finished quali, but his gearbox broke because he crashed. So maybe that's their kind of idea of, like, a simulation where the AI has a problem and they change it, and obviously Parc Fermé, I don't know what it is, but here's a strategy for today. I'm not going to fiddle about with it. I'm happy with that. 9 laps on the mediums, 11 laps on the hards. That should get us to the end with relatively decent pace, of course. Options are open. I will probably stop a lap earlier, just because I always seem to do. The undercut should be pretty good around here. Let's make sure the fuel's nice. I'm going to go with a 21.2. And without further ado, let us start round number 3 of the Haas to Glory Season 2 Melbourne Grand Prix, driving as Ollie Bearman, being driven by FUTcrim, aka FUTcrim. Nice one. Right, let's do this thing, shall we? Let's get the optimum RPM. That's lovely. And we are away. Little bit of wheel spin off the line. Lots of wheel spin, actually. Let's get the overtake on. Race start is very, very average, and that is perfectly okay with me. Going into turn 1, I'm getting sent up the inside by Logan Sargent, I believe. That's a bit dodgy. Now, I'm feeling very, very brave. I think I'm going to go for a move on Esteban Ocon. I'm going to try and outbrake him into turn 3. I don't know which corner this is, but I'm going for it. To the inside. Oh, big oversteer. Outside line, which isn't brilliant. We're still going wheel to wheel. There's a bleeding Mercedes getting in the way. Can you move, please? Thanks, Sainz. Why is Sainz in a Mercedes? I have no idea, but there you go. And Bosch, 1 place up on the opening lap. That is world class. Now, I'm not too sure what my straight line speed's going to be like today. It looks okay, to be honest. I don't want to use too much overtake, but it looks all right. It's manageable. Do you know what I mean? It's good. Now, we do have a McLaren just ahead of me of Lando Norris fighting one of the I don't know who's he. Is the other Williams still Albon? I have no idea. It's difficult to keep up with all the drivers across 3 different career modes, but the other Williams he is battling with, so if that keeps up, that could open up an opportunity for me to maybe get past Sainz. But yeah, for a first lap, I'm very satisfied with that. I managed to gain a place. Race start wasn't actually bad, like off the line. There was a bit of wheel spin going on, but that's good. I like that. So now we obviously just start vibing. We just chill. I'm going to try and stay within the DRS of Sainz, which should be, you know, relatively easy considering the field spread is quite low. And we'll see how it goes. It's pretty good. I'm not sure what's happened. What the bleeding hell did I just say? I was going to say, I'm not too sure what's happened, but there was a massive scrap up ahead. Who's going around the outside of me? Who are you? Where did he come from? Holy moly! Esteban Ocon just emerges. Okay, that was a complete mess. So, someone up ahead was scrapping, everyone else got held back, and if I was a little bit sharper on my reactions, I could have very easily got past Sainz there, and look at the gap now. Because of Esteban Ocon going for a move on me, I should be able to keep DRS, but that's troubling. I will say, we're only on lap number 4, but my car is sliding really bad. What's the tyre wear looking like? It's... oh, wow, that is really poor, actually. 16% on the rear left after 4 laps. Not even that, 3.5 laps. That's pretty crazy. No wonder I'm sliding with tyre wear like that. Going off that, I'm definitely going to be stopping a lap earlier on lap number 8. That is crazy. I was not expecting that. On lap number 6 now, still just, you know, managing the pace. It's looking okay. To be honest, the car has got a little bit better. I'm driving a bit more conservatively at this stage. As you can see, being a bit more cautious on the exits, and it's working. Of course, I'm still, you know, 0.4 behind Sainz. If anything happens up ahead, a little bit of a scrap going on, I'm right there. And that corner's really starting to annoy me. I keep, like, getting snaps, but... no, this is fine. Actually, I'm still planning on stopping a lap earlier on lap number 8. As you can see, 24% tyre wear now. That is tragic. Also, I've come to the conclusion that my acceleration is pretty poor, which, to be honest, that's just down to the car and its general performance. But my straight line speed, in the terms of my top speed, is actually really, really good. Of course, round here, though, you only really get one opportunity to get to top speed, and it's not really that useful. So I'm thinking of actually increasing my front wing, but we'll see when it actually comes to the time to stop. Who's that up ahead? Someone's having a crazy scrap. I can maybe benefit off this. I've got, you know, a bit of a better line through turn 1 because I wasn't right up Sainz's arse. Is there a little move on here up the inside? Maybe? No, not gonna happen. Cringe. Alright, we're approaching lap number 8 now, and whew, my car is terrible. We do have some scrapping up ahead. Maybe through turn 1 there's a little chance of something. No, because as you can see, I'm slipping really bad, but, I mean, to be fair, it's quite obvious what the cause is. Look at the tyre wear. 31% on the rear left, and to be honest, I'm a bit surprised by that, because I have been, you know, not consciously, I haven't been thinking about it, but I feel like I've been taking care of my rears pretty decently. I've not completely gassed it off exits like I normally do, so the fact the tyre wear is still that bad is shocking. But I am planning to still stop on lap number 8, maybe get a bit of an undercut going. I'm hoping to maybe try and undercut these 3 cars up ahead, being Sainz, Norris, and one of the RBs. And maybe there's a little move on. There is an RB here. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's very slippery. Oh, that's very cheeky. I've completely and utterly cut the track there. Hang on, wait. If you're a steward, what are you doing in that situation? Because realistically, what's happened is that I've overtaken the RB off the track, but then the RB's gone and lost 3 places. So I can't really give the position back, so I'm not too sure what to do about that one. I think I'm just going to let it go and just tell everyone to shut up. Anyway, let's make our first and only pit stop of the race. Of course, if there's a red flag or safety car, we might have to do another one. Let's see how we get on. Now, recently, I have had so many slow stops. It seems to be a 1 in 3 chance of it happening. How are we feeling today? We're feeling good. 2.4 second stop. Banged it. Now, I need a very average or above average outlap, and hopefully that can catapult me into the, I don't even know where it'd be, like P12, P11 area. That'd be ideal. I will say from the early signs, the hard tyres are, as I'd expect, more grippy, but they are considerably slower around corners, which I suppose is how the hard tyres work. But what I mean is I don't know about this undercut anymore, because this lap time's been okay, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. If we take a look at the start-finish straight, we can see who's stopping. I can't tell if any of them is who I was fighting with. Keep in mind I was fighting Norris, Sainz, and one of the RBs. I don't actually know which one it was. And here we go. You can see Lando Norris. He's at the pit exit, and that just hasn't... No, actually, no, that... I don't know. That's okay, I think. I mean, I've lost 1 second to Lando Norris, but I'm ahead of Albon, so the undercut hasn't worked, so I've lost time, but it's not too bad, to be honest. Although I do feel like if I stayed out for one more lap, I would have lost even more places and time because my mediums were cooked compared to the AI. That's why I stopped in the first place, was because of how bad my rears were. Alright, Carlos Sainz is now making his way into the pits. Where am I going to come out in comparison to him? There he is. I've unlocked a trophy somehow. I'm going to have to send it round turn 1 to get ahead of Pierre Gasly. And now, why have you got DRS? What? Okay, that's interesting. Actually, yeah, no, this is okay, to be honest. I've basically come out where I went in, to be honest. Just P12 and fighting Sainz. So what I'm going to try and do is stick behind Sainz for a few laps, get towed along with the DRS, and then go for a move later on. Although I might have to go for the move soon because I don't actually know what my pace is going to be like in comparison to him. I, of course, also have to be careful of Gasly trying this strategy of just staying behind Sainz. And another good thing that I didn't even take into consideration is that because I'm just getting towed along with DRS and I'm not in any rush to try and overtake Sainz, I can just farm up my battery. I mean, I haven't used overtake in 2 laps now. As you can see, it's now up to 72%. And that's going to really be helpful later on. Alright, this isn't ideal. Gasly is now up my arse. Which means that pretty soon I'm going to have to go for a move on Sainz because Gasly is going to go for a move on me very soon. I'm going to try and stall this out for as long as I can, but yeah, this is less than ideal, to be honest. Alright, a little sit rep for you. It's now lap number 15, so we have 5.5 laps left. Still managing to put my tactic, strategy into good use. Still just chilling behind Sainz. Gasly hasn't really gone for an overtake at all yet. He can't get close enough. Sainz can be... Yeah, I'm not going to go for a move, boss. Don't worry. Someone's also had a massive lock-up up ahead. I don't know who that is, but we are actually also making positive progress on the cars ahead, like Lando Norris, for example. I mean, he was gapping me by a second a lap, and now I've actually pulled it back by 4 tenths. But of course, I'm basically just matching Carlos Sainz's lap times. So if anything, I actually want Carlos Sainz to go quicker. Like, please, go faster. Right, we have 3 laps remaining in this race, and I believe I have made a decision. I am going to try and overtake Sainz on this lap. Now, I would like to keep it going until the end of the race, but realistically, my tyres are starting to die, just like my mediums did. Sainz is getting quicker because his tyres are less, you know, wet-worn than mine. And, you know, at some point in the near future, either this lap or next lap, Gasly will go for a move on me. So, I'm going to try and overtake Sainz now and just try and hold him off for the remaining 2 laps. I'm going to go down to 70% ERS there. I'm going to wait for DRS to be enabled, and then I'm going to go down to about 55. I don't know if I can actually get the move done here. I'm going to look for it. No, that's a bit too scary and sketchy. I'm going to wait until the second DRS zone, which is now. Come on, we can do it. Let's just dump it. Just dump the entire ERS tank, switch it to the outside, later on the brakes, swoop her in, and there you go. Very clean, very easy. Carlos Sainz, you've been done. Now, I've got to try and stay ahead, which is going to be beyond difficult, but to be honest, maybe I can try and do a thing where Sainz overtakes me, but then I overtake him back. So let's go. Penultimate lap of the race begins. I'm going to go down to 35 ERS, and can we not go 3 wide into turn 1? That isn't going to work. I've cut the corner a little bit there, but it's okay, and Sainz is through. Honestly, that's not too bad. I'm actually okay with that because it means that on the next DRS zone, I will of course have it and I can have another crack at him. And then maybe, actually look at that. Oh, who's the Williams? Is that Sargent? No, it's Albon. Albon goes for a move on Gaza. Oh, that's massive. Albon, I'll rate you, boss. That is huge from you. What Albon has done here is he's given me a bit of a cushion, meaning I can now stay behind Sainz like I was doing previously, charge up some ERS, dump it on the final lap, and then get past him. Albon, I'll slip you a 5 later, boss, because that's massive from you. Alright, final lap of this race, and that's a bit dodgy. Why is Sainz so far ahead? Okay, well, I've got 4 DRS zones to try and get past him, so hopefully I can do it. I'm going to go down to about 50 Hang on, we have a yellow flag up ahead. I believe that's going to be... Oh, there it is. It's Valtteri Bottas DNFing. That's tough. My tyres at this point are completely gone. Like, they are 100% dead. But I am sticking with Sainz, and I'm doing a pretty good job of it. Now we go around this corner to finish Sector 1. It's going to be a green Sector 1. Not sure how I've managed it, but I have. And now this is where I'm just going to unleash the power of the Haas F1 team car. We're going to go down to 40% ERS. And if this isn't enough, we have another DRS zone. It isn't going to be enough. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to play it patiently. I'm going to make sure I have a good run through the chicane, which I have done. ERS on, DRS on, round the outside of Sainz. I did it before, I'm doing it again before the corner. Sainz, you have just been absolutely humbled by FUTcrim, Ollie Bearman, and the Haas F1 team. One more sector to negotiate. Checo Perez wins the Grand Prix. Massive respect to that guy. He's my GOAT for real. Still crying about the fact he isn't in F1 anymore. But focusing more on me, this is going to get quite close to the finish. No, it's not. P11 for Ollie Bearman. That is a quality race result. Of course, it is a shame missing out on points by 1 place, and to be honest, that 1 place wasn't very far away. It was only about 2.5 seconds away, but that's still a fantastic result. Like I always say, our car is the slowest on the grid, and I was already satisfied with that P16 in quali, or was it P15? I don't even remember. That's just short-term memory loss. But going to the race, wasn't expecting that. You know, the strategy was okay. The undercut didn't really work. I sort of came out where I went in, but I believe that was still the correct thing to do. And, you know, fighting a Mercedes and diffing a Mercedes at that, I'm very pleased. So here's the final race results for the Australian Grand Prix, round number 3 of Season 2 of Haas to Glory. And yeah, +5 places on the day. I don't actually know where Valtteri Bottas was. He started P18, so I'm going to assume that he was behind me, meaning I did actually gain 5 places on merit today. And, you know, the fastest lap was a 17.5 or a 17.6, a whole, you know, 6.5 tenths faster, actually no, more than that, 7.5 tenths faster than Hulkenberg, which, you know what, I know I'm severely diffing Hulkenberg. I'm on 110 AI, there's nothing I can really do about it, but that's not awful from Hulkenberg. He beat 2 cars, he was almost, you know, gonna get past Tsunoda as well. I don't know what happened to Tsunoda, he lost 6 places in the race, that's crazy, but that's not a bad effort overall. Of course, Red Bull 1-2, Verstappen fastest lap. Actually quite a close top 4. Look at that, 4 seconds between them. So if we take a look at the standings, although we didn't score points, that P11 is potentially massive in our fight amongst, you know, Sauber and Williams and RB and Alpine. So, the drivers looks like this. Max Verstappen leads the way still by 6 points. 12 points back is going to be Hamilton. Checo Perez, after winning the Grand Prix, is still 15 points behind his teammate. You know, he obviously scored 25 of his 35 total today. But I am now all the way up to P15 overall in the drivers. Of course, if you haven't scored points, it goes off your best race result. For me, it was P11. Gasly probably has 2 P11s. That's why he's ahead of me. Hulkenberg still P20. Tough, but as they say, there's a long way to go. Do you know what I mean? And looking at the constructors, we are currently P9 ahead of Sauber because we have that better race finish. Williams only 1 point. RB and Alpine both on 2 points. I reckon P6 is very achievable this season. Final thing I want to take a look at before I head off is my lap times. I want to see how consistent I was on the hards. Oh, okay, we're starting off okay, then it would be a pear-shaped, but that's not awful. Mid-17s, low 18s, but yeah, that was a very, very fun race. I enjoyed that. The car was just the same as Jeddah. Really, really nice. Until the tyres died suddenly, it was pretty good. And also, just, it's Melbourne, so it's going to be a good race because I love the track so much. So that's going to be all from me today for Haas to Glory Round 3. I'll be back soon for some, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing next. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? But thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, all the good stuff. And I'll see you all next time. And goodbye.